Hello and welcome to another StarCraft 2 editor tutorial. Today we're going to take a look at an ability called Dash, that Dash ability, and when you use the ability it will send the hero forward in this dashing way. So yeah, that's what we are going to be creating. So let's go into the editor and let's create a new map, just a melee map. Pick your expansion, doesn't really matter what it is. And let's see, I'll choose Ire. And let's go into the terrain editor. So it's a little dark, but whatever. Let's create some terrain. Just some random terrain, not really that detailed. And I think that's it. Now go into dependencies here and delete the void mod and add another standard. And add the void story campaign, or just the campaign, so we can add Zeratul into the map. And why can it be modified until document is saved? Okay, wait a minute then. So test. And now go into dependencies, delete the void mod and add the void story campaign, or just the swarm story campaign or liberty story campaign, depending on what expansion you have. So select that. Press OK, and just wait a little while until it has loaded all the assets. So now when we go into the units here, we can search for Zeratul, and he will be in the options here, and we can just place him here on the map. Yes, and that's basically all we need for the terrain. If you want to create some more detailed terrain, that's all up to you, but I'm just going to demonstrate this ability. So let's go into the data editor and let's add a new ability. Let's call it Dash and make it a effect target. And you also need a button for this, so we're going to buttons in the data module and create a new button, call that Dash. Let's make an icon, double click icon and search for Dash or whatever you want. I'll pick this one's kind of cool, and I'll set the hotkey to Q so we don't have to press the button with the mouse. Let's go into the ability again, down in commands, open that up, select the execute and choose your default button for this ability, which is going to be Dash. And now the Dash button is attached to the Dash ability. So that's what we need for this. So let's go into effects and create a new effect called Dash, and bracket here, persistent, and press suggest. Go down and select the create persistent effect type and press OK. And then we're gonna make some options in here. First of all, we need a dash apply effect. Apply, let's just call it visual because it's only gonna be a visual effect. Apply behavior, and one more thing is gonna be dash set, yeah, and select the effect type and select the set here. So go back into persistent, and we want to make the location the source or caster point, because we want the point to be offset from the caster. Just also change this one to caster unit, the offset location start, and the location offset end is very important. Should be the target point, so it will offset in the direction that we click the ability, or select where we want to go with the ability. Let's go into period count, make that 1. Period duration, just create 1 here. 1 duration, that's going to be 0 seconds. And go into period effects and add the dash set effect here. And what do we need to do? And we have to the effect initial, we're gonna apply the visual, the dash visual here. So whenever he casts this ability, the visual will apply to the caster. So let's see, what do we have here? Okay, so go into, or just create a new effects. That's gonna be a launch missile effect. So press suggest, go down to effect type, and launch. Choose the launch missile, and go back into dash set. We have to make some adjustments here. Go into the target location type, so it's not gonna land on a unit, it's gonna land on a point. So this is gonna be the point that the unit is gonna be launched to through the launch missile here. Let's go back into the persistent. Sorry, this is a little messy, but I hope we get the right result in the end. Add a new periodic offset and choose -5, because -5 is 5, you could say, in range in front of your unit when it's minus. So he will be launched 5 range forward. So if we choose this, or change this to -12, he will be launched into -12 in forward. But we're just gonna choose a -5 for this tutorial. Yeah, I think that's it right now. Go back to the set effect, double click effects, go in here and add the dash launch. Press OK, and yeah, I think that's it. Go into the dash launch effect and choose the death type shall be, or must be, none, because we don't want our unit to die. This launch missile thing is going to be our unit, and it's not going to be something that we launch forward. It's going to launch when we have set this ammo unit to nothing. It will launch the unit itself in that way, so we can launch him. So the impact location is going to be the target point, and we have to choose the effect here, because it's not going to be the actual target point. It's going to be that 5 range forward, which was our dash set, because we set the point in here, or in the persistent. We set the point at the -5 offset in front of the unit, if that makes sense. So that's the impact location, and we need to launch the caster unit, also important. Going to flags, for some reason we have to choose the 2D thing here and the placement. I don't know why, but that thing worked when I tested it. Just select those, doesn't really matter. And save. And let's go into movers, because we have to create a mover right now. Where is it? There. Search for Yamato. I think we can just copy the Yamato weapon, the mover. So copy paste it and call it dash mover. Press OK. Go into motion faces. Select the top one here and set the maximum speed to 14. So this missile speed will be 14. So go back to the test data source here. Delete Yamato, go into abilities and set the effect here. In the ability we have to set the dash persistent as the effect, and yeah, go back into launch and let's apply the mover that we just made. So that's going to be the dash mover here. And what else do we need? Placement range. For some reason that's also going to be 1. I don't know why. That worked with me. Or what I did. And we have to, okay, we also have to remove the behavior, the visual effect. So dash remove, and yeah, we create a new effect, call that dash remove, and we're gonna remove our behavior. So remove behavior, and the behavior shall be, or must be, oh, we didn't create the behavior, so we have to go into behaviors, create a dash or a behavior. It's gonna be a type, above type of behavior, and set the duration to 1.5 just to be sure it wears off. And modification, we're gonna go into ability here, and we are gonna disable the attack effect, instant effect target, and the move and the stop there, just so our unit cannot use any abilities while he is traveling with the dash ability, and it shall be hidden so we cannot see it. Yeah, so go into the apply visual here, into behavior, so search for dash, and that's the dash that we just created. Copy that behavior and paste it into the remove, and we're also gonna apply the remove thing into the launch ability. So that's gonna be the finishing effect. So when the unit has traveled that distance, it will remove that dash behavior. We also need to go into the remove and select the unit that's going to be our caster unit and not the target, because we don't have any target. And also in the apply visual, that's also going to be the caster. So I think the ability should work, but we don't have any visuals right now, so let's create those. Let's go into models, just call it dash model, press suggest, model type generic, and yeah, go into models here, search for psionic shift. That's the coolest one, or the best one of these. So select that, and now we're gonna attach this model to our unit. So let's go into actors and create a new actor, call that dash model, and actor type must be model, and the parent shall be a model edition, so we attach the model to the unit through that. So go in here in the events, and we don't have to create something fancy here, it's only going to be the behavior. So search for behavior dash on. When it's on, it's going to be created, and copy paste this one, and when it's off, it's gonna get destroyed. So when the dash behavior is on, this model will be created on our hero or unit, and when it wears off, it will get destroyed. So that's a simple one. Save, and let's create a sound too. Dash sound. Press OK. Change the group from voice to combat, so we can have some. It's weird because the voice option in here doesn't allow for 3D world relative sound. It only allows 3D head relative, although you select this one, so it's kind of weird. So select that and create a new sound, and this psionic shift. I think that's the one. I cannot hear it right now because I'm plugged into my microphone. And let's just crank the volume down a bit in the volume here, and create a new actor. Call that dash sound. Press suggest. Actor type must be a sound, and the sound is one shot. And press OK. Go into events. Yes, event. That's gonna be ability. So whenever he casts this ability, it will create this sound. Whenever the dash is created, source cast start. So now the sound will play whenever he casts this ability. So save that. Let's go into abilities and see. Yes, it's attached to the ability. And one last thing we need is a guide, a visual guidance sort of thing. So go in here, call that dash guide. Press suggest. Search for quad because that's the one we're gonna use, and we're gonna use the circ guide visual quad down. I think that's it. So press OK and go down to the token here and choose the dash ability, and right click this one and just reset it to this one, so it will edit all these events in here and add the thing to the dash ability. And we have to change the height and the width of this one. So the height is going to be 5, I think, and the width is going to be 1 or 2. I don't know. Let's just make it 2. Where is it? W width here. 2. And that's gonna be our the guide, the visual guide thing. So I think everything is set, except that we have to search for Zeratul and apply the ability to him. So search for him, go into abilities, into his abilities, and make the new ability, the dash, search for that one. Press OK and go into the command card and add his dash ability in there. So command type should be a ability command. In the ability is going to be dash and the ability command dash. So I hope everything is fine. I hope that I got it right in this first try. So let's test it. Let's see. So,
I will be redeemed.
yes, it works with the guide thing. So, or does it? Something's wrong here. Okay, that's the thing I have to fix just in a minute. But let's see if the ability works. So, if we press here.
I will fulfill my calling.
Oh, okay, we forgot to make some range. But he's dashing forward, as you can see. So that's one thing that we have to fix. So let me just find out what the hell I did wrong. First of all, let's go into the abilities tab, find our dash ability. Go down to flags, I think, flags, and required target vision is gonna be off. That's one thing. And go down to range, and that thing is gonna be 500. So he can cast it whenever. He will always travel that 5 range distance. This is just gonna be cast from whatever distance. So he doesn't have to run over to that point that you clicked from that distance, if that makes sense. And the last thing, oh yeah, I think that's it. Go down to, where is it? The cursor effect. That's gonna be the quad that we created. So, dash. No, that's not cursor effect. It's what is it? Cursor. Just give me a second. Okay, so if you go back into the game here, nothing needed to be fixed. I think it was only the range thing. So you can see the quad here is working just fine. I don't know why it didn't work before, but whatever. You don't have to do anything fancy to make this work. I think it was only that range thing. So right now it works. So yeah, that's the dash ability. Hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, like the video, of course. And if you have any suggestions on new tutorials I can make, just leave a comment in the comment section below. And also, if you have any questions in general, just leave a comment and I'll answer them as soon as possible. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.